I am the Contrarian, and this is my world.
So we are back, and you've seen what happened with our subjects with Rajat. But right now, it's really important. 3 does not make an entire country, and obviously not the world. So I'm going to start off with the first thing. Experience, interesting. Like you said, a week is obviously not enough, right? Okay, now let's find out from you. How long is it actually before a person can start feeling the difference? If I go for, let's say, a 5-kilometer run every single day, but I wear shoes, how many days before I can be trained to go for a 5-kilometer run barefoot?
I would say 2 to 3 months at least.
That's it? 2 to 3 months I can be trained to do that?
Yeah.
And I will not have cuts and blisters, and I won't be coming to you as a patient rather than a client?
So again, you need to use some technology there. So if you use your eyes and see if there are no glasses around.
Is this relevant for a country like India?
Yes and no. I mean, you have to pick your right places. So it's tricky. It's not going to work in every place.
Okay, so let me find out from you. Do you run barefoot?
Yes, I do.
Completely barefoot? As in, do you use minimalistic shoes? Are you a purist, or are you a semi-purist?
My religion is running, so it's not a particular type of shoe. So basically, I could be wearing the hokas that we were talking about earlier, the 2.5 inches.
I'll come to that also. I want to understand that.
Yeah, and then there's something called Newton. Newtons are like spikes. They have spikes right in front, and it's not spikes. Like there still is rubber in front. Any random day, whichever shoe is sitting in front for me, I would actually pick them. I'll be wearing those and running.
Because you think you've perfected your technique, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So you're basically claiming to everybody you have the perfect running technique for barefoot shoes. Barefoot.
Yes, that's what I would say.
All the clients that come to you to be trained for running, from casual runners, from people who want to be better runners, from people that can't run, to people who are being trained to be professional runners. Do you tell every single client to go barefoot?
Not completely convert. So what I would say is, as a therapy, if they could be doing 2 to 5 minutes at least barefoot walking to start off with. Again, this walking would gradually becoming longer, as well as the running part could happen. So I understand walking is not the same thing as running as far as the technique goes, biomechanics go, but it's a good enough start.
One of the other things that happened last week that completely shocked me, and we had a lot of mail on that, was you said out here that if you're running with shoes and then you become the perfect barefoot runner, you may or may not, but in all probability, there's no difference in your performance, right? A lot of people wrote in saying, how is that possible? Aren't I using both energy as well as slowing down? Because every single time I lift my foot with shoes on, I'm taking the weight of the shoe and the cushioning with me. So I should be, theoretically speaking, I should be faster. 300 grams of lesser weight being lifted by me every time, 20,000 times in a run. Why will I not be faster?
Cushioning helps, move obviously a little faster. It is compromising on the technique though. So, we need to appreciate when actually the call...
So cushioning helps you move faster?
It is giving you a cushioning. Cushion is a cushion, right? It is giving you a little bit of a bounce, for sure it is. But it is making you a better runner when you are barefoot. So I'm not saying you race barefoot. I said that earlier as well. It's completely fine to be using shoes, but fix your running actually barefoot. It helps. Having said that, is barefoot for everyone? Not necessarily.
This is where the whole sports shoe industry started.
Yeah.
Thicker cushion, more air, more gel, more this, more that, helium, I don't know what all they put into it. You're literally flying in your shoes now. Yeah. But aren't you now becoming the same? You're also becoming a slave to just fads.
No, I'm not.
These all sound like fads to me.
Yeah, so no, I'm not. So Newton I wear very often, the ones that I'm actually talking about here. What it does is, if someone's not able to, as simple as it may sound, hey, fix your technique. The dude hasn't done that for the last 40 years. He does not know how to do it. So unless I'm with him all the time, telling each step, hey, do this, you'll be surprised. Most of them cannot understand when I say, hey, land soft on your heel.
If you're actually throwing out sport shoes, but giving in to gimmicks, which is better?
It's a scam when people are buying the more expensive shoes. It's better. They just went by the price. So the whole study was done based on price of the shoe. And they said, if you're buying a moderate price shoe, and when the study was done, they were talking about the moderate being like a 3,000 to 4,000 rupee shoe, and the expensive ones being like $100 or slightly more. So shoes which are 10 to 15,000 rupees, saying those being the expensive gimmicky shoes. And they said, effectively, the shoes which are moderately priced are just good for you. Forget about what they put in it, which brand it is. So, which was an amazing learning.
Barefoot running is not for everyone. Who is it not right for?
So, as we were talking about the weight, so body weight is an interesting one. So if someone's heavier, hasn't run before, to someone like that, I want to give a shoe which is a little bit more cushioned, saying the support for the knee and hip is a lot more of even
But
for the back.
again, in show one, you said running bare feet is better for your knees and your joints. So now this is again
Body
a
weight.
contradiction.
No, it's not. So it's, since you asked who is it not for. So heavier weight or who has been very sedentary does not look natural when they run and all that stuff. It's a good idea, get them moving.
I'm going to do another quick fire with you.
Yeah.
If you have bad knees that have been diagnosed, that you have truly bad knees, still good for you?
Okay,
Bare
now
feet?
what is really bad? So I'm a doctor, right? But most of my colleagues have been saying running is bad for you. Running causes knee injuries. Running
Okay, now
causes
that's the
arthritis.
classic argument saying why even run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walking is so much better.
Yeah.
It is gentler.
Yeah.
Gives you the same impact and everything. It gives you the same effect on your body.
Yeah.
So this is a whole different argument.
No,
So
but
can I
it's-
get it answered? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the point really is, as I was saying in probably it was the previous episode, where the martial artist is hitting the wall. Initially, he will have these micro fractures and trauma and whatever, but eventually it will keep getting stronger and stronger. It does heal over a
If
period of
somebody
time.
has
with
truly bad knees, he may not have that
No,
time
hold on,
left.
Hold on. So
Okay.
what tends to happen is they are talking about, hey, did running cause it kind of a thing,
Right.
and then, should you carry on? The point is, we need to understand what is a knee. Knees are not a stable joint. It's an unstable joint by
Right.
design. It's just two bones or
Right.
three sitting on top of each other like that. The muscles, the quads, go from higher up and cross the knee and go below. Hamstrings start from the butt and go below the knee. Calf starts from above the knee. So there's a lot of crossover happening at the knee.
Okay.
Once you start correcting the muscle balances, you'll be surprised half of those knee pains just disappear by muscle correction. That comes by proper technique while you're doing your squats and stuff like that, using your glutes more. So it's not running caused it.
What about the flat feet? Makes no difference. In fact, your technique may become better.
It will.
Right? If
Yeah.
you actually run bare feet
Yeah.
rather than wearing a controlled
Yeah.
shoe and all of these other things. If everybody out there who's watching this show right
Yeah.
now was to ask you for a starting advice,
Yeah.
what is the first thing you are going to ask them if they want to take off that shoe?
Yeah.
And as this show gets over,
Yeah.
every one of them will take their shoe off and start running barefoot. What do they do for the first thing they do?
Yeah, so again, very amazing research that's come out. Effectively, when you just put your foot down and you just, without your sock as well, you're just doing this little toe curling movement. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to raise your arch like that. And when the arch is being raised repetitively over that day, so I'm saying 25 repetitions, 4 times a day, 100 they are. And if you do it over 4 weeks, your arch will get stronger, it'll become higher as well, and this will change even your running technique, as simple as
So this is the first thing they all really should start
Should
doing. And the
start.
second is go for a run for maybe a few hundred yards only
It's a good
barefoot.
start.
Is a good start.
It's a good start. Yeah.
All right, so we will come to know when we get hate mail or fan mail 8 to 10 weeks later. But do remember, if this is something you want to do it under controlled environments. Do it under somebody that actually has some professional knowledge on this. Don't just start running out on that road, taking your shoe off, and then coming and beating me up with that shoe. We'll see you next week on The Contrarian. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rajat.
I am the Contrarian, and this is my world.